This is Matt Onofrio's audience. That's Ashley, Dylan, Anissa, Coulter, Kelly, Josh, and my name's Stephanie. I'm recording. All right.
Herman Webster Mudgett was born in Gilmanton, New Hampshire in 1861. By all accounts, he was a lonely child who spent most of his time by himself. He had one friend, Tom, who died mysteriously when they were playing in an abandoned building. Herman, unbeknownst to his parents, dissected animals as a child, and by the age of 11, he could dissect a rabbit without killing it. After schooling, Herman married Clara Loverling. After a few months, he decided to leave her and enroll in the University of Vermont. He stayed there for 1 year before enrolling at the University of Michigan, which is famous for its dissection program as well as cadavers. After graduation, he headed to Chicago, the fastest growing city in America, where he adopted the name Dr. H.H. Holmes. Holmes' first victim was Mrs. Holtman, who owned the drugstore where Holmes worked. Holmes wanted the drugstore for himself and was tired of being a lowly employee. He explained Mrs. Holtman's disappearance by suggesting she had visited friends in Los Angeles and decided to stay there. Holmes was a trustworthy person around Chicago, so people accepted his story without question. There was a vacant lot across from the street from Holmes' drugstore. Seeing an opportunity to build his own building, Holmes decided to buy it. Using the building that he owned as collateral, he secured a loan to buy the vacant lot. After his purchase, Holmes started construction on his own building and sold the drugstore. The building became known as the Castle. Construction of the castle moved very slowly. Holmes was a born deceiver and decided it was not necessary to pay workers or for building materials. He purchased items on credit and berated contractors for substandard work, leading them to quit or be fired. Holmes also had a more sinister motive in doing this. He decided that he should be the only one who knows the entire layout of his castle. On the ground level, it was like any department store of the day, with the restaurant and different shops. Beyond the first floor, there was poorly lit hallways, dead ends, and many rooms. Holmes' office was equipped with an airtight vault and a gas jet. In the basement, there was vats of acid and medical instruments, as well as a kiln. The castle was finished in 1891, in which Holmes moved his wife Myrta into an apartment across town. During construction of the castle, Holmes befriended 3 men: Patrick Quillen, who became the caretaker, Charles Chappelle, who did odd jobs around the castle, as well as articulating skeletons for Holmes, and Benjamin Pitzel, who was his right-hand man and came with him on many insurance scams. In 1891, the World Fair was awarded to Chicago. Holmes decided to use this castle as a hotel to lure potential victims. From 1891 to 1893, numerous people disappeared. Notable ones include Julia Connor, who left her husband for Holmes and was killed with chloroform. Her skeleton was sold by Holmes to a hospital for medical study. Emmeline Chagrand, Holmes' mistress, who died in his gas chamber, and Minnie Williams, whom Holmes swindled out of a $40,000 estate before killing her. By 1893, Holmes was under enormous pressure from both creditors and those of the missing families. Holmes decided, with Pitzel, to do an insurance scam and fake his death. In 1893, Benjamin Pitzel's life was insured by the Fidelity Mutual Life Association in Philadelphia for $10,000, with his wife Carrie named beneficiary. Holmes and Benjamin informed Carrie of their plan, should she see that her husband was dead. They decided, as opposed to actually switching a cadaver for Benjamin's death, Holmes instead decided to kill Benjamin. They used the daughter to identify the body because she had no knowledge of the insurance scam, and they knew the wife would know that her husband was really dead. Later, Holmes was entrusted with the care of Nellie and Howard, Alice's sisters, to lessen the burden on Carrie. Over the next year, Holmes moved the entire Pitzel family across the country, without them knowing that each of them was in the same city. Carrie was under the impression she was going to see her children, where the children were under the impression they would see their mother. Eventually, Holmes was arrested in Boston in 1894 under suspicion of insurance fraud. He was alone. The children were not with him. While in jail, Holmes admitted to insurance fraud, but insisted that the children were actually with their father, who he said was alive. It was determined that Pitzel was murdered by Holmes and was not, in fact, alive. Over the course of the investigation, Alice and Nellie were found buried in a house in Toronto, where Howard was found badly burnt in a chimney in Indianapolis. Herman Webster Mudgett was convicted of the murder of Benjamin Pitzel and hung in 1896.
Audience is still.
Okay. Any questions?
Any questions?
I got a question.
Yes, good sir.
Is there like an estimated amount of people that they say he killed?
Well, they confirmed 9, but they think
A lot
it's
more.
anywhere from 20 to 100.
My question is that they said that Holmes has his own writings, his own memoirs in one of the libraries. Do you know which one?
Continental, the Library of Congress in Washington, D.C. That's the only book.
Was he ever married? I missed if you said that
Yeah, he was married 3 times,
3 times.
and only one of the wives he killed.
Only one.
Yeah, the other 2 were still alive, but they didn't know about each other.
Oh.
They were
So
unaware.
he was married
He
to,
was married
at the same
3
time.
times at the same time, and none of them knew that he was already married.
Got it.
PowerPoint.
This is my PowerPoint. You couldn't see too well in the video.
All right.